again.
Banksy has often courted controversy, creating artworks that put a spotlight on social inequality and injustices and issues many feel are ignored by those in power. Works that have regularly fetched six-figure sums at auction. An irony not lost on Banksy. In 2007, he turned his attention to the heart of the Middle East, painting 6 new pieces on the streets of Bethlehem. After a chance meeting, director Marco Prosopio saw an opportunity to show a different side of the well-worn story of the plight of Palestinians living in the occupied West Bank, through the fate of one of Banksy's works there.
In 2012, I passed the checkpoint between Jerusalem and Bethlehem, and the first man I met in Palestine was Walid the Beast, actually what became the main character of this documentary. In that very moment, I understood that his story, he told me, him removing a big piece of concrete with a Banksy painted on, was a weird story, but also an occasion for me to tell something about Palestine, not picturing them as victims, but as human beings.
The film focuses on the removal by Walid of a black spray-painted donkey whose documents are being checked by an Israeli soldier, a comment on the Jewish state's strict security regulations. It poses questions about ownership, intent, and the theft and subsequent sale of street art, whose creators sometimes don't see any of the profit when their work ends up in private hands. The piece in question being put on eBay for a cool $100,000. But there's more to the film than the conflict of profit and politics.
Street art nowadays is mainstream, is not just a subculture. So through street art, I think you can talk to younger generation about a serious topic as this one.
It looks at the place and power of street art as a platform.
I hope all the people watching the movie will know something more about Palestine and try to understand how the situation works there and how is living with a wall built around you.
It also examines using walls put up to divide people to connect them, not just to each other, but to the outside world. The removal of the work, however, perhaps decreased its value in artistic terms. Bought by a Danish art collector, it now sits in storage in Europe. Removed from its original context, it has become a commodity more than a comment. The Man Who Stole Banksy premieres at New York's Tribeca Film Festival on Friday. Kerry Alexandra, TRT World.